Okay, that's Photoshop. And to create a user interface, you first have to go to New and put in a resolution, say 1024 by 800. Okay, the background is transparent, so what you want to do is to fill it with the color. So over here you have two colors. One is the background, one is the foreground. Okay, so click on that color. Maybe, yeah, I would like to have it as white, or either maybe a shade, right? And then you go to the paint bucket tool and you use that to fill it up. Okay, the other way, if you want to create a background that is sort of a gradient, you can have blue as the foreground, white as the background, and then you click longer at the paint bucket and use the gradient tool. And how to use that? You have to click over here and then drag it down, and that gives you a gradient. Okay, is that useful? Okay, from bottom up, sides, okay, gradient, right? So let's start creating some banners. Okay, now I can create a few shapes from here. Okay, you have the circle, ellipse, the rounded rectangle, and the polygon tool. So the way to do that is to drag, okay, and you're creating. Look, because I had some layers before, so that's why it's coming out that way, but we can remove that. Okay, no layers. Okay, so you can create the other shapes. The way to manipulate the same shape is, look, I now have a few shapes here. So that's, yeah, this is the layer palette. You can access this shape, right? Or this shape here, or that shape. So a few layers, but I want to access this larger shape. You see, before you have it selected, right, you can move it about. But if you want to edit this shape, you have to click so that there's a white border here. Click, so there's a white border. Now you can actually add to this shape. Okay, so if I want to add a shape here, okay, so that's actually one shape, look. Okay, it's not creating a new layer. And you can also subtract it by clicking this button and then drawing another circle in. Okay, so that's subtracting. And that's intersect shape. Remember I covered that in the workshop, no, sorry, in the lecture. So let's remove all these. Okay, click and shift click to select all of them and delete them, the delete layer. Okay, but other than shapes, you can use the pen tool to create a banner. So let's do it now. Okay, I'm gonna click here, and if you press shift and click, no matter where you are, it will create a vertical line. Oh, sorry, that's a okay, have it closer. Okay, and then another one, and clicking and letting go and clicking and dragging has a different effect. So if I click and drag now, I'm creating a Bezier curve. Okay, clicking and dragging. Okay, clicking and dragging. Close it finally. Right? So now I have this shape in this layer. There's only one layer here. But I want to edit it. I can also use this button, okay, called the direct selection tool. And when I have that selected, my mouse cursor icon turn white. And I can manipulate this. Look. Select two of them, drag them down. Okay, you can use your arrow key on the keyboard for very detailed movements. Okay, and we have it there now. So what I'm going to do now is to punch holes through. Okay, that's for the logo. Okay, and maybe 3 menus. Okay. Okay, the next thing I want to do is to put some layer effects onto them. Drop shadow. Look, immediately it becomes much nicer, right? And then I want to have a bevel effect. Click on that and change the depth. Okay, size. Okay, and soften it. Okay, of course you can also put a stroke over it of a different color, and also change the size of the stroke, but let's not do it. Okay, so that's your banner. Let's move it up here. I'm going to create another banner, so you click on that again to switch it off so you don't edit it. This time I will also use the pen tool, but of a different color now. Okay. Close it. Okay, this has completely overlapped the first one. So what you can do is drag it, click on that, drag it below that layer, and there you go. Okay, you can edit it with the direct manipulation tool. Okay, and also make sure it's switched off. Add a drop shadow effect on it. And a bevel. So how about a logo now? Choose a color. A new layer. Drag it below that. Maybe switch off the drop shadow. Okay, nice logo. Okay, now you can also group things together by clicking and pressing Control and clicking on another layer, and press Control G to group them together so that it becomes one now. And you can double click that and name it logo. Okay, and then you put it there. That's your logo. Okay, so some tricks in Photoshop. How about some other things to make it nicer? Okay, let's create it below this level. Sorry. Some buttons, sort of. Okay, remember that you can also change the size, reshape this size by either clicking on, sorry, where is it? Okay, simplest way is to press Control T and then reshape it. Okay, apply that so that's smaller. Okay, now how do you copy the shapes? Okay, to copy the shapes, make sure it's selected and then press Shift and directly click and drag. Sorry, press alternate. Okay, alternate, look. Right? But let's delete the other layers. sorry. Okay, alternate drag and then Control T, make it smaller, and use your arrow keys on the keyboard to manipulate it. Text tool with the horizontal type tool, click on that, click here, and then type my website. Okay. Now with the text tool too, when you click that, there's a panel here where you can open up and sort of change the size. 72, change the color. Change the font type. Okay, and also add layers to it. Drop shadow. Okay, also put a stroke with a matching color. I think that's okay. Okay, Control T, change the size. Okay, maybe also add sort of some other news item here. Alternate, okay, click and drag, and then Control T to change it, change the size, change the color, and also double click here to give it an inner sort of a outer bevel. Wait, pillar emboss, stroke emboss now. Okay. Okay.